So when you think about life, there's always a timeline to life. There's a start, there's a middle, there's a finish, there's an end. It's always like a big show. And when it comes to life, there's always three main portions of life. You're born, birth, and then you live your life in the middle, and then obviously at the end, it comes to an ending, it's death. Now, everybody's life has expiration date. It's basically when your life is ending. Some people's expiration dates may be known. Some people's may like have a waiting date and they know, and they normally terminally ill, or some people never know and it just happens, like old age or just passing unexpectedly from an unknown cause. It's never fully either known or unknown until proven. Now, when it comes to terminally ill patients, their expiration dates are always known just because it can be medically proven when they're going to pass. And when it comes to terminally ill patients, it was given the fact of the Death with Dignity Act. Now, the Death with Dignity Act was actually first brought about in 1994. It was first passed in the first state of Oregon. And that act was actually, like any act, any law, anything, it was voted on by the citizens of that state. And of course, it passed. And basically what Death with Dignity is, it's assisting a person that is terminally ill and either giving them the option to end their life sooner rather than later with assistance of medication. Now, there's a lot of people that could be against this or for this. A lot of the people that are against this would say it's basically just killing yourself. It's a suicide. Nobody should be able to do suicide. They're just giving up, or it's the patient and the doctor assisting themselves, just making them kill themselves. But the people that are for it see it a different way. They see it as somebody that's struggling, somebody that's terminally ill, somebody that just can't function like a normal human being and already knows their expiration date and would rather go through it sooner rather than later. And a good case in scenario that proved this was actually, which I thought was amazing, was actually a young lady named Brittany Maynard. Brittany was a young lady, only 29, recently married. She was rather young, and in her marriage, it was just the beginning, and she would just have random headaches, migraines throughout the days, and so she went to a doctor, and they found, when they did a CT scan of her head, they found that she had brain cancer. Now, they didn't know the severity of it at first, but when they further researched, they found out that it was a lot more severe than what they had thought, and she was actually pronounced as terminally ill. She was given 4.5 months to live, and throughout her 4.5 months, or just the beginning of it, she noticed her migraines were getting worse. She was having seizures throughout the day, seizures so bad that she stated to her husband that she just couldn't even keep still. She had to lay on the floor, and she would just groan in pain all day. And they were never expected seizures. They were just unexpected throughout the day. So she couldn't work. She had to stay home. She just suffered every single day. And when it came down to the decision, she actually went through, saw 2 practitioners, which is a requirement of Death with Dignity. You have to be at least given 6 or less months to live, and you have to be seen by at least 2 different physicians or practitioners that have to pronounce you as terminally ill and only having that amount of time to live. So she was. And she sat down with her husband one day, and they just decided, she said that she couldn't handle it anymore, she couldn't suffer anymore, and she took the medication, surrounded by her family that one day, and just fell asleep and never woke up. Now, she's not here to give her input, obviously, because she did pass and is deceased now, but her husband had notated in an article that he misses her every day, and the struggle of her being gone is hard, but the struggle of seeing her suffer was even worse, and he said the way she passed was very peaceful and that he doesn't regret ever the decision that she made. Now, that's inspiring in general, and I at first don't think I was for Death with Dignity, but I feel as if people in general, citizens of any location, all have their own autonomy, all have their personal beliefs, values, and their wants and needs. And if somebody was pronounced as terminally ill and didn't have a fighting chance at the end, and they always had an expiration date that is proven, then they should be given that option. It shouldn't be something that doctors should fight against. It shouldn't be something their family should fight them against. It should just be their option between them and their physician. So I believe that it shouldn't just be passed or not passed. It should just be an option to all in every state. Now, since 1994 to 2015, it has progressed. Not just one state, but 4 right now are definitely for death with dignity. A couple in the U.S. are negotiating, and some haven't even thought about it. But it is slowly rising. The state I live in, Delaware, is actually negotiating it now, and it's being seen on whether to get passed or not. And a lot of people share their opinions of pros and cons against it or for it, and it's all personal. And I think it's because death is very personal for anybody, family, friends, anybody involved in it. But it brings to the finalizing question: if you yourself were pronounced terminally ill, would you want to go through the suffering every day knowing the expiration date, just awaiting it? Or, and some people do, some people just want to live their life and go for it and see what happens? Or would you rather pass peacefully and do it sooner rather than later? That way people around you don't have to go through watching you pass. It's definitely something to think about. It's definitely something big, but death with dignity is definitely something new, and I believe definitely should be thought of or even brought up in every state within the U.S. Thank you for watching.